Hello, I'm Mike with this week's new and trending AI tools you cannot afford to miss. In the previous weeks, it's been about deep seeking, and now it's about deep researching, especially as Sam Altman from OpenAI announces the launch of Deep Research, which thankfully rolled out to the UK and Europe this week as well, to pro members of ChatGPT. That's the $200 a month plan. Now, there was a challenge posted around on X to create an open source version, and Matt Schumer was pretty close to the mark, saying, here's Open Deep Researcher, and he's made the code available. This is pretty encouraging if we want to do things like deep research, but remember, this product's actually been around for a while, and I covered it many weeks ago on this very channel when Google Gemini integrated it into their paid plan. But I searched for the ultimate open source version of Deep Research, and I found it, GPT Researcher. Now, I'll post the link down below if you want to go and try this for yourself, but it's actually super easy to use. Don't be worried that you open in GitHub. It's got some super easy instructions to follow, and we're going to do them now. So as I scroll through the repo here, you'll see it gives a nice little introduction. GPT Researcher is an autonomous agent designed for comprehensive web and local research on any given task. That is exactly what we want. And as I go further down past all the tutorials, you'll see a getting started to install locally, but thankfully for me, there is the ability to run with Docker. As long as you've got Docker installed on your system, PC, Mac, Linux, doesn't matter. There's a desktop version of it. It's super easy to run. I'm going to copy the URL to the GitHub repo. I'm going to open my Mac's terminal here, make it nice and big so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to type git clone and then paste in the URL for GPT Researcher. Within moments, it's done. That's pretty easy, isn't it? Now, the first thing it tells me to do is to clone the .env.example file. So we'll just type in the command to copy env example to env. Like so. And then we'll use a text editor such as Nano to edit the env file. Now, all we've got to do is provide a few keys before GPT Researcher will work for us. We'll need our OpenAI key, which is pretty easy to get. I just go to my OpenAI account, go to API keys, click create new secret key, and we'll call this GPT Researcher, like so. Copy that key and paste it into my .env file. Next up, we're going to need a Tavily API key. This is what gives GPT Researcher the ability to access information on the internet, and you simply need to sign up for a Tavily account if you haven't already got one. Once that's done, you'll see I get a nice welcome from Tavily. I can get started. It gives me a walkthrough, but most importantly, on the Researcher, the free plan, I actually get 1,000 credits to use straight away. And then I copy that key and paste it into that .env file. That's all I need to do. Now I simply run docker compose up -- build as instructed, and you'll see it's going to build right in front of my very eyes GPT Researcher. So we'll just let that run and build and then access GPT Researcher. By the way, if you're enjoying what you see so far, throw a like on this video and subscribe as I do these updates weekly, and all the links to all the tools I'm mentioning in this video I'll write down below in the description. Okay, now we can see GPT Researcher is up and running inside Docker. We can go and follow the instructions here, and I can actually go ahead and access it on localhost /3000. So let's go ahead and access that URL. GPT Researcher appears. Now I can type in my question. So let's start with this. Should I buy PayPal stocks right now? I'll hit enter and let GPT Researcher go to work. It's going to call on some agents to do the research task for me, and you can see it's found a finance agent that will browse the web and try and learn a little bit more about this task. It's planning through what it should do, and it actually goes really fast and starts actually scraping URLs from the internet, getting pages of content from all over the internet. This is using the OpenAI API and Tavily to reach out to the internet. You can see it's referencing some of the URLs it's found, and already it's giving me different angles that I could use to ask different questions, and it's writing a report on me whether I should or should not buy these stocks right now. You can actually see down below, it's referencing the sources here. It's gone through quite a few websites, just like OpenAI's Deep Research would do so. It's found some related images, and look, it's already started writing my report. Okay, it says report is written, and I can scroll down and read that full report. So it gives me a little introduction here. It gives me the stock performance. Now you'll see actually it's not using quite the right date, as it's given me a date from a couple of days ago here at the start of the information, but it gives me some Q4 2024 results, an outlook for 2025, and a lot more information. It tells me about the challenges and risks as well, and it even goes to the end and gives me a conclusion and says, based on the available data, it represents a mixed investment case. So it goes on to be very cautious and tell me all the information it's found and reference it. This is great. This is open source, and it's working on my computer just using a couple of APIs to reach out to the internet. And of course, I can download this as a PDF. Look at this. I can send this to anyone that I want to. This is research that was done in just a couple of seconds. I can also download it as a docx and view the download logs as well if I want to see in depth what my agents did to do this research. Now, not only web research, but you can also research on local documents as listed here in the documents for GPT Researcher. And if you upload stuff to the my-docs folder, it will actually use that for local research. So let's actually have a look. So I'm going to go to my Google Drive transcriptions folder and download all of my YouTube transcripts to use inside GPT Researcher. So here we are again. I'm going to get started again, and I'll say, find the best AI tools for coding. And I'll stay with the short summary of 2 minutes, but I can do a longer summary if needed. I can choose if I'd like it to be humorous, optimistic, pessimistic, the writing style. We'll leave that as objective. And instead of the web here, we'll search my documents and click research. Away it goes. The agent gets started. It's already called the tech agent. How cool is this? It's browsing to learn more about what I've talked about, and it's finding all of my transcripts. And very soon it will start creating a research report right in front of my very eyes here. You can see it's pulling down the transcripts here. It's listed the research costs, and you can see already GitHub Copilot is coming up with benefits and limitations. Cursor Composer is coming up. We've got all kinds of stuff. XAI with the Klein plugin. This is really good stuff. It's pulled from all of my transcripts on all of my YouTube videos, and it's finding stuff that I need. It's giving a conclusion on AI tools and even references, which are the text files that I provided here. Now, if I gave those text files more beautiful names, then the citations would look better throughout this document. But as you can see right now, it lists Replit, and then it lists my thoughts that I provided on Replit, along with features and benefits and limitations. So now it's finished. I can copy it to my clipboard as Markdown, download it as Markdown, download the PDF document, a docx, or even the log as well, just as before. GPT Researcher, pretty awesome, and I thoroughly recommend you try it out. Throw a like and subscribe if you're enjoying this, and find the link to try it for yourself down below. Now, that's not the only exciting thing that happened this week. Logan Kilpatrick from Google announced Gemini 2.0 Flash is the best value of any LLM right now, and I agree with that. I actually posted back and said I've found Gemini's long context summaries to be by far the best I've used, and that I'm going to build something to summarize my videos and maybe reason on it with DeepSeek. And then I changed my mind and thought maybe thinking experimental from Google would be a great way to go with this. So for this project, I'm going to do a bit of vibe coding. It's been a big thing on X, by the way, if you haven't noticed. I'm going to go in and use Windsurf Cascade this time to build something out, and I'll just describe what I'd like. Build me an app called AI Mic that essentially uses a database and the Google Gemini API to get everything from that RAG database, summarize it, and then reason over the summary to give a comprehensive answer to the user. Okay, I've vibe coded that by talking to my machine. This is the future of coding. It is natural language coding. So Cascade goes to work now and creates everything in my project for me. It sets it up, all the requirements that are needed right here for me. Okay, with that all created now and a beautiful front-end interface, I can just say, run my app so I can access it on the web. Okay, everything seems to be working. Let's ask AI Mike, what can you tell me about Windsurf? And let's see what happens. AI Mike is thinking, searching YouTube for relevant content, analyzing the results, and it's found a video here with 245,000 views, the future of no-code development, selected most relevant videos, found the durations, extracting the video transcript. I mean, this is really cool stuff. It's still going ahead and doing this, and this is all an app I created in minutes using Windsurf Cascade. It's going through doing the deep analysis, probably using Gemini's Flash thinking model, looking over everything, cross-referencing it, and yeah, wow. This is really incredible stuff. I'm really curious to see what data it will actually bring back on my videos. Generating the comprehensive analysis here as the final step. Let's hope that something good comes back. And we can see it's typing it out now. It's typing it in Markdown, which of course is not ideal. Ideally, I'd like that formatted. But that's a minor issue considering the app we've created has actually gone ahead, researched over all of my videos, and found it's an innovative addition to the no-code development ecosystem, positioning itself and promising positioning itself as a promising alternative to Cursor Composer. Yes, this is all the stuff that I said in my video. Really cool stuff, providing a conclusion. This is excellent. Now, that did take maybe a minute or two to do that deep research with AI Mike, but you can see using a couple of awesome new Gemini models, the Gemini 2.0 Flash to do the long summaries, and then Gemini 2.0 Flash Thinking to think over. I mean, this agent has gone through an incredible amount of steps to think over the kind of content that I've created just to present that report. Now, if I wanted to spend more time, I could, of course, go through, change the UI of this, make it look really good, give download buttons for PDF reports and other kind of markdown reports, but this is a great start, and I vibe coded this in just a few minutes. Now you're probably wondering how I did all that vibe coding, meaning talking to my computer in English, just like you could, and creating an amazing app. Well, in my dock, I've got a new app called Superwhisper, and I'm really digging this. I advise you check it out. It's got different modes. I've left it on the default mode, and actually right now I'm on a Superwhisper Pro trial, so I'm not actually paying for this right now. It downloads models to your computer here, so you can see you don't even need to send what you're saying up to the cloud. It transcribes with amazing accuracy. Of course, there are some cloud models from DeepGram and also one from Superwhisper as well if you want good speed and accuracy on your transcriptions. But so far, using this for the last week, I found it to be incredibly fast and accurate just on my local Silicon Mac here. You can do replacements, vocabulary dictionaries if there's something you say often. You can configure different hotkeys to trigger Superwhisper and even set up your sound with your audio interface, boost your microphone and enable sound effects so that you know you're talking to Superwhisper. So now I can just click in any box and I can say, "This is absolutely amazing. I love it." And when I let go of the hotkey, not only does it capitalize, but it uses punctuation absolutely incredibly well. So not only am I using this for vibe coding, but I'm also using it to respond to emails, write posts on X, and a lot more. I find it a lot faster than typing things out with my hands manually. So a few things for you to look at this week. GPT Researcher, also vibe coding. It's a big thing. And as you can see, I made an app in just minutes that can do reasoning using the new Gemini 2.0 models, and also Superwhisper. If you want to talk to AI rather than type to AI, it's an app I highly recommend you download and check out. Thanks so much for watching this week. Remember to like and subscribe, and YouTube is showing a video on your screen now that you should watch next.